Howdy folks, how are y'all doing? Cub here and welcome back to our Minecraft 1.9, now slightly modded, we'll get to that in a minute. Let's play adventure. Big shout out to everyone who supported this peculiar texture pack in the last episode. For those of you who didn't catch, it's called Lies or Lee's Resource Pack. There was a link in the description of the last episode. I've since decided, since we're going to keep using it because so many people liked it, it does harken back to an older, more original feel of gaming. I've been playing a lot of emulators lately on my, I guess it's virtual consoles on the 3DS. They're more legit than emulators, although not to knock emulators. I've used quite a few in my time on my MacBook, but that's completely off the subject. If you want to download the pack, there's a link in the description that'll take you to my website where there's a whole section full of all the mods, a list of all the mods, and a list of the texture packs that I've used in this series. You can find it there. Speaking of mods, someone recommended I take a look at the Curse client, which I've literally never used in my life, unless I haven't forgotten, which tends to happen a lot with these kind of things. But I downloaded, I took a look at it, and you know what? I'll be darned if I didn't get right into that and start downloading the bare essential mods, alright? I just got a few things. For instance, I got this here. This is just enough items. It's kind of like not enough items, but a little bit different. And the only reason I went with this is because not enough items was not available in the Curse launcher, and I didn't want to download it myself and install it because now I'm pitifully lazy. That's what's happened. Thank you, Curse, for making me pitifully lazy. Maybe I should share some of my carrots here. Really, if I give the carrots to the pigs, I get like a bigger investment because they'll make babies and then I can eat their babies and they'll be worthwhile than a few. Like 2 carrots is good, but a few pork chops is a lot better. Also installed some other things. Like, don't panic. Nothing that really changes the way the game works. Fast leaf decay. Makes leaves decay a little bit faster. Some inventory tweaks, you know, just so I can quickly sort things. Look at that. Did y'all see that? How about, look at that. Perfect! Things are being sorted now. See? Not big things. Not game-breaking things. It's not called Vanilla Minecraft Weekly. It's called Minecraft Weekly. Vein Miner, you know, because it's a Let's Play. And I want to speed things up. I want to make it good. Wellia, obviously, as well as Wellia Harvestable, so you can get some information on whether or not things can be harvested. As well as maybe something called Roguelike Dungeons, which spawns massive dungeons in the world. How cool will that be? Come on, folks. You admit you're really excited about it. Now, I wanted to address one thing. Last episode, apparently, I said you can't make a metal door. You can. You've always been able to. What I meant was you can't create a stone door. That would be useful. That said, someone did recommend I make, like, the archway out of leaves, which could be cool. In any case, today we're going to focus our attention on freeing the animals, letting them run free, man. Not quite that hippie, though. What we're going to do is we're going to fill all of this in, or potentially just tear it all down, and we're going to fill in a big, maybe like underground storage area underneath all this. I guess if we hollowed all this out, that's what we're going to do. Here's where I'm going to go ahead and mark it off right now. I need the dirt that I just mined up. Do you mine dirt? It seems like such a peculiar thing to say, mining dirt. Who's ever gone off and, like, bothered themselves saying that there is a dirt company not far from where my parents live, and they brought dirt to my little brother for one of his birthdays, and it was the greatest gift he ever received. And I guess someone had to go collect that dirt. But did they mine it? I don't think so. What I'm trying to say, though, is that we're going to collect some dirt, we're going to cap this off, we're going to build, like, a storage area underneath here, and then we're going to build another wall, and we're going to give the animals much more room to play. Now, how are we going to do this is probably the question on your mind. I imagine that's what you're wondering. Cub. And I say yes, and then you say, Cub, I don't understand. And I say, what don't you understand? And you say, Cub, this doesn't sound like an entertaining video, Cub. We're here to watch you do amazing things. Incredible. I changed the shift key, and I'm still not used to it. I've still got to use that. I moved the shift key because on my gamepad, I had shift where control is and control where shift was. And I liked it, except for the fact that it was getting a bit confusing in some games where I'm like, control, do I even have that? What button would it be? This one? And it's like, no, that's shit. So, look, I changed it around a bit. I'm still getting used to it. Back to your question, though. Cub, is this going to be entertaining? I'd say yes. Look, there's no reason you shouldn't enjoy a good old-fashioned build episode with Cool Guy Cub. I wonder if I can just hover over this and press R, and it'll give me some... Oh, yeah, look at that. We've already got some stone here. That's good. We're going to go ahead and use that stone to create, hopefully, some stone bricks here. Awesome. 64 of them. Another 44 of them. And then we'll just chunk some of this in here. And some more in here. And I don't have any coal on my person at the present moment. But, yeah, look at this. We got tons of coal. We'll go ahead and we'll toss some more coal in these. We'll get as much stone as possible because we're going to build the walls. out of these lovely stone bricks, because who doesn't like a good stone brick, am I right? I feel like I am, and even if I'm not, who's gonna correct me? You guys are, that's who. And I love you guys, and if you guys are correcting me, well, that's alright by me, because if you gotta be corrected, you want it to be by friends. If someone's gonna tell you you're wrong, you'd rather it come from a friend. You know who sang that song? Me, just now. Just made it up right off the top of my head. I know what you're thinking, Cub. You ought to really go into, like, writing songs for plays and things, and you ought to go full Broadway. And you know what? I'm thinking you're wrong, because that sounds awful and boring. I went and saw my niece perform as a ballerina. My niece is a doll, by the way. If y'all have never seen a picture of my niece Jocelyn, first off, good, you creeps. I don't want you to, you bunch of weirdos. But, I mean, if you just happen to have seen a picture of my niece Jocelyn, you'll know she is the cutest thing in the world. She's like a button. The phrase "as cute as a button" never made sense to me growing up until my niece Jocelyn was born, at which point I looked at her and I thought, oh my gosh, you are as cute as a button. And she is the most adorable little thing in the world. And one day, not that long ago, she came out and told her mom, I want to be a ballerina. And my sister, she told her sister that. Her sister, not my mom. Her mom. Getting confused here with my story. And she's like, okay, so she's become a ballerina. And she was so cute to watch. But really, besides from her, and it was like it was at a theater for performing arts. And aside from my niece, who again was just darling, the whole thing was really boring. Like, there was the oldest group, which was a bunch of graduating seniors, to which I was holding my nephew, and I was like, hey, and he's just like, a goo? And I'm like, oh yeah, you don't care. Okay, very, very good-looking ladies, though. Fine-looking, pretty young. I'm trying to be respectful about this. They were very pretty, very talented girls, and they were a joy to watch, because they actually knew what they were doing. Then there was the others. So there was some girls, I think, ranging all the way from 2 years old. I don't think they were that young. There were no boys, in case you were wondering. Hey, boys can do ballet too. Yeah, I'm sure they can. They just weren't in this show, alright? So if you have a problem with that, I don't know, take it up with Orange, Texas. I personally don't care. Whatever. I think there might have been like 2 guys, now that I think about it, in the oldest group. But the youngest group's nothing but girls. And I guess that's at the age where, yeah, like, if you're a boy and you want to be a ballerina, you're just not quite brave enough to come out and admit it yet. And that's fine. I think when they get older, they'll be more open to that. Hey, you know what? I'm going to dance my heart out. None of this has anything to do with the story. So back to the story. The middle-aged groups were just awful, again, except for Jocelyn. She was, like, in the super awesome group, and she tapped her leg very delicately and did her little twirls, and it was great. But then the oldest group, as I said, was good because they were talented, but the youngest group was the most hysterical thing to watch because they were just crazy funny. And they obviously didn't have their routine memorized because they kept looking off stage to whoever was showing them what to do. And sometimes they just roll over and do a flip for no reason or a cartwheel. And they were just, I can't possibly go into all the little things that they did. Suffice it to say, it was the most adorable thing I've watched in a very long time. Not as adorable as my niece, mind you. Her and her little group. Well, she was the best part of her group. But it was good. But I spent the whole time thinking, theater for the performing arts, and this is what we're watching. How prestigious is this? This is so, it's so highbrow. I can't think of an expression. I'm trying to think of something. Highbrow. I can feel the ice forming on my forehead because of highbrow we were. That was quite possibly the worst, but I said it and I'm not going to go back on it. So it was so highbrow. My brows were so high there was ice forming on them. That's how highbrow it was. And I spent the whole evening pretending like I was Frasier. If you've never seen Frasier, he is a psychiatrist. And he has a radio show, and he's got a brother named Miles. And I was making a joke with my brother, or I'm sorry, Niles, not Miles. Miles Teller? No, Niles. Niles Crane. Frasier Crane. I've been talking to my brother, and I'm like, you realize we're basically Niles and his brother Frasier, right? I'm Frasier, you're Niles. And he's like, yeah, I guess kind of. And I'm like, no, Niles, that's what it is. And so that's the kind of thing we've been doing now. And I suppose that doesn't, like, mean anything good for us in the future. It means he's gonna marry... what was her name? What was her name? Lilith was Frasier's ex-wife, one of them. What was... Oh, it's on the tip of my... It started with an M. Oh, she was the worst. And the great thing about that show is it had like a running gag throughout the whole thing where you never actually saw her. Oh, what was it? Maris! You never saw Maris. They had the same thing in Cheers. And Frasier's like a a big spinoff of Cheers. And I mean big because I think they both had like 11 seasons. So, and Frasier picked up at the end of Cheers. So, 22 years of Frasier. That's incredible. Anyway, they had a character in the show that they talked about a lot, but you never saw. And they did the same thing with his wife in Frasier. And it's funny. Maris. Yeah, she's like super pasty, super skinny, super shallow. And good show, by the way, Frasier. Man, that's a good show. I've been watching it on and off here lately. I've been trying to pass the hours entertaining myself here in my lonely abode where I live alone in my abode. And I've been doing it by watching Frasier. And it's been fun. You know what? It's a good show, and I do enjoy watching it. The humor, I think, is just right on point. It's good, classic 90s humor. Most of it was made before I was sentient. That is to say, I was born, but I had no concept of being alive, or my place in the universe, or solid foods. Solid foods being quite fascinating once you work those out. You start developing these teeth things, and they hurt at first, but then once they come in, you're like, I can cause pain with these. And then you realize you can rip flesh apart with them. Oh, good times. You just go total carnivore. You're just eating all the bacon in the house like your mom finds you. You're like 2 years old and you just got the door open and you're just eating the frozen bacon. She's freaking out and she's calling like, did this not happen to any of you? I'm sure this must have happened to all of you, not just me. This could not have been a thing that only happened to me. All of us ate frozen bacon at some point in our lives, right? No? In that case, maybe it makes sense now. You're not really supposed to eat raw pork. I think we talked about this in like one of the pre-episodes, one of the prequels. Can we call them that? Sounds like a terrible title for them. Those, early pre-show episodes of Minecraft Weekly. I had a pre-series for Minecraft, not Minecraft Weekly, I'm sorry, Tech It Legends, and we talked about not eating raw pork because you can't really digest it very well. Unlike when you have like an undercooked, like cow, which is also called beef, and it's like, ooh, delicious, and it's tasty. You don't get that? What the heck? See, I'm causing all kinds of errors. There we go. You don't really get that with the pork, you just get a stomach ache. You want to make sure that it's thoroughly cooked. So, my goose has been thoroughly cooked. How do I get down here? Easily, I guess? Oh, look at that guy. Okay, that's fine. He hasn't seen me. He can't get to me. I'm just worried he's going to start shooting me. And that's not something we have to worry about once we get... I've just now noticed that there's been no monsters out and about. Is that something we should be troubled by? Oh, look, now they're starting to show up. Okay, well, you know what? Let's put up this wall here. So that if anyone gets any bright ideas about shooting at me, like that guy over there, he'll have a heck of a time with it. Look at that. See what I mean? Good thing it's almost daylight. Good. There we go. Alright, and we'll get this part into. Perfect. Almost made it through the night. Not quite. We're gonna have to meander our way around this wall without being shot off. Whew! Look at that. Totally proing it. Jeez! That guy's really trying, though. You gotta give him points for effort. I mean, if nothing else. Although, should you give him points for effort? Or is that kind of like giving kids a trophy when they haven't succeeded? And it just, like, makes them feel like they deserve rewards for just being alive. And that's really how you end up with the world we're in now, where all these kids, they've been getting all these, like, consolation prizes their whole life. They've been made to believe that, like, the world owes them something and life should be given to them on a silver platter. You know what? No points for trying, Mr. Skeleton. None for trying. You only get points for doing. And you, sir, have done nothing. You've shamed the name of Skeleton. If it's a name that can be shamed. What the heck is going on here? Oh! Andesite. We don't need you, Andesite. More like get out of sight. Am I right? Yay! What do I do with it? Just leave it there. Well, guess we can put this stuff in here. That's fine. I should really be running around with a more cleaner, a less cluttered inventory. Can I make other kinds of wall? That could be useful. You know what? I do kind of like this, just enough items. I like the interface a little bit better than NEI because it's a little bit nicer. It's a little bit cleaner, is what I should say. It doesn't have the bar over here. It's just right under here. Maybe these are things you can twick? You can twick them in any... Oh, good gosh. You can tweak them in NEI, maybe. I don't know. But the fact that it's just there and I don't have to think about it is nice. Alright, so we've got the basic foundation for the storage area. The only thing to do now is to build up the walls and then cap it. And we're also going to need to put down some torches. Really? Good grief. It rained on me earlier. I was mowing my yard for the first time. Because when I moved in, it needed mowing, but my wonderful uncle and sister mowed it for me while I was unpacking things, and that was really nice of them. But I mowed it for the first time, push mower, took an hour and a half. It would have been done faster, but I had to borrow my parents' push mower, which they were happy to let me borrow, and I'm happy they let me borrow it, except for the fact that it is garbage. It's garbage in that if you run over a patch of grass that's a little too thick for it, it just dies. Also, it sounds like it's going to die half the time anyway. Like, it cycles, like, if you just leave it sitting still, it has a cycle it goes through. It takes about 15 seconds, 15, 20 seconds, it goes... That's the cycle it goes through. It just sounds like it's about to die. Wow, that tickled my throat wrong. But then it picks back up and it keeps going. So it doesn't actually die. But that's just... It wasn't a pleasure to mow with, and I'm very grateful they let me borrow it, but I think I might need to go buy my own lawnmower or something, because that is not going to be a process I enjoy doing in the future. And, I mean, I know it sounds strange to talk about enjoying lawn work, but I do. I do actually kind of enjoy doing my yard. And I enjoyed mowing my parents' lawn as well, because it's kind of relaxing in a weird way. All you gotta do is just sit... Well, my parents had a riding mower. Obviously, I was using their push mower. They have two mowers. I'm referring to... On the riding mower, you just sit there with a podcast and you just kind of go around. And it's one of those things where it takes a while, but you can actually see the progress. Like every unit you make, every circuit you make, you come back and you're like, look at this. There's less yard to mow. Look how much I've got done. And with every loop, it's like, look how much I've completed. And you don't get that level of satisfaction with a lot of other things, like YouTube, for instance. Obviously, if you go back and you look at analytics, you can see like, wow, I've really done well over the course of the last, I don't know, however long. But, very persistent guy here. He's very persistent. I'll give him that much. I've locked myself in here. I need another way out. I'm not going to fill that hole with a chicken. I don't know what I was trying to do there. Anyway, YouTube, good stuff. Really been enjoying it lately. Can't wait for it to take off. A lot of people keep leaving me comments like that. You know, hey, Cub, can't wait for your channel to take off. I'm like, you know what? Me too. It's going to be good. It's going to be good when and if it happens. And I say if because... You know, there's a likelihood this channel will never go anywhere, and it'll never be anything, and I might just have to stop making YouTube videos and get a real job. But, it's also likely, well, not likely, but it's also possible that that won't happen, and that big things are coming for us in the future. Or not. I don't know. Again, it's all kind of up. There's a lot of chance involved in this. There's a lot of just, will people find my videos? Will people watch them? Will they enjoy them? And if not, if the answer to all those things is no, you're kind of in a Shrek'd up sort of situation, because there's not much you can do to change that. Should grab some ladders. Do I have any? I don't think I've made ladders. I've made some fences. That's not going to help me any. Alright, well, that's fine. We got some wood on us. And sticks, though? Do I have any? I feel like I've probably made... Well, that's a darn shame. Well, we'll just make a bunch of them here. And then we'll just make some ladders. There we go. You can get 3 ladders. So we got... 27's probably enough. We'll go ahead and we'll store these sticks. We'll hold on to one, because you never know when you need a stick, right? You probably don't, though. You probably don't need a stick. We'll go ahead and we'll make our entrance for this place. How are we going to do this? How are we going to do this? I haven't even really considered. First off, Carrot Farm's got to go. It's right in the way of what we're doing here. It's interrupting the whole flow. Get out of here. Get out. Alright, what I'm feeling is... This is probably going to have to go too. We'll probably have to build another entrance. I haven't really thought this through, for those of you who haven't been paying attention. I just kind of hopped on and started flying by the seat of my pants. A phrase that I've used multiple times here that still doesn't actually make sense, but is ultra fun to say. Let's grab that fencing. I saw that we have a lot of fencing in here. Let's grab that first off. 42. I mean, is that a lot of? I don't... Okay, before we do that, let's go. I'm trying to, like, balance my time here. I want to have, like, the optimal amount of time being invested in whatever it is I'm doing. This is a dumb place to dig. We need to mine quite a bit. So I'm gonna go silent, and I'm just gonna mine, and I'm gonna listen to a podcast, and we're gonna do, like, a fast forward with some fun music. Here we go! Alright, well, we are done. We've got all this patched up. We've got our lovely underground storage area here. looks kind of like the sort of place you'd store people if they were being imprisoned for some purpose, but that's not what it's for. I promise you that. We're definitely not holding your relatives down there, so you don't even have to worry. Alright, now what we're going to do is we're going to fence in a rather large area, and when I say rather large, I mean large enough. I mean, it's going to be just big enough. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to, because we got a few of these left, and I do like using them, I'm going to, like, encircle the whole place with these. So, sort of like underneath the fence. So we'll go ahead and just tie into this fencing as well, since we've already got it up. Might as well just use it. But we'll kind of use these stone blocks here underneath the fences to sort of mark off the territory, if you know what I mean. Necessary, no. No, the fencing would also work just fine for marking off the territory. But look, it's my world, and I do what I wanna. Do what I wanna. You do it too if this were your world. Woo woo. No one. All right. Well, that's fine. Look, no need to keep you watching. I'll just fast forward again. Alright, so we've got this area fenced in. Gonna add in some torches about in just, various places. I don't feel the need to put them everywhere. Because, I don't reckon monsters are gonna spawn up here. What are the odds? I was about to have a panic moment. I looked down and was like, this is all dirt, there's no grass. But then I remembered there's plenty of grass over here. It will spread. Now we're gonna have to do a bit more work. This is not, by any stretch of the imagination, done. I'm gonna have to move most of the gate apparatus that we constructed, because we did construct a pretty dandy gate apparatus to allow us to enter and exit without letting the animals out. But let's go ahead and get them out of this pen first, and then we'll worry about that, because look at them. They're all crowded in here. Half of them haven't even realized that they've been liberated. If you look here, look at that. Yes, go, my friends. Look at all the extra space you have, all the new green pastures. This might not even be the end of it for them. I might even grow it out even further. I might take it all the way across. How good would that be? They would love that. I know they would. All right. This is good. Time to make it great. We need to make the entrance over here. So we'll add... Where is the... Here we go. We got 16 of these. Good. No. Stop that. Stop that. No. All right. We'll do 1, 2, 3, 4... And so this is going to be 2 wide. That's good enough. Should I go ahead and put... I guess we should go ahead and mark this off as well. Using the stone. There we go. And here as well. Alright. Put a fence here. Gate there. Ooh, you know what? We need to make this a hair wider. Just a hair wider. And you know what? Let's go ahead and make the whole thing underneath here. We'll make it all stone bricks so that we don't have any awkward patches of dirt like we're going to have right there. I should have thought about that beforehand, but we'll just make it all... There we go. And then we'll take this out. Look at this. This is going to be great. This is going to be fantastic. It's exactly what it's going to be. I have such high hopes for this whole new... I mean, the animals, they're going to be able to roam freely and range and whatnot, and the things that animals do, or whatever. They're going to have all this fresh new dirt to wallow in and grass to eat. I'm going to have this much larger area to funnel them through. It'll make, hopefully, funneling new animals in here a little bit easier, or more difficult, now that I think about it, because I've got to get them into this large space, through a little space, get them from one large space into a smaller space, back into a larger space. It's gonna be, it's not gonna be easy, but look at that. Alright, so we've got a double entrance there, and right next doors we've got this, and I think what we'll do is we'll move all farming and whatever other supplies we have down here into this weird dungeon area, where we'll also hang people on the walls and beat them with sticks, maybe? I don't know, I haven't decided that I'm gonna do that. And even though I'm risking breaking the game, I'm gonna go ahead and place some torches out here to replace the ones that disappeared during the great transfer over to Minecraft 1.9, because y'all might remember I had a torch mod. Alright, well, I'm feeling pretty happy with this. This looks good. Got a nice new big fenced-in area. Might expand it a little bit more in the future, but not right now. As of right now, I'm pretty happy with it. They've got a ton of space to move around. It still looks cramped just by the sheer volume of animals in there, but they're not cramped. Trust me, they're fine. One thing we need to do next, though, is we need to build up the wall. Because this is just weird looking. Maybe bring it up level. I want to bring it up to where it's level all the way around. So I guess this is the highest point, and the wall needs to be universally that height all the way around. That'll be a fun task. That'll be another fun fast forward. Can't wait till they update the Minecraft replay mod. Maybe they already have to 1.9, because that'll make that fun again. And I should have probably checked before I started recording this. But if it's available, next time we'll do some serious... Because I love the replay mod. You can get some great cinema scaping done with it. So if that's been updated, I'll patch it in, see if I can get it working. And we'll do just a massive build. It'll be fantastic. Well, folks, thank y'all for watching Minecraft Weekly number 15. A big special episode where we took care of some animals. And until next time, thank y'all for watching. God bless you, and I'll see you later. Bye.